Hi, it's Patrice here. So, if you are still here after all those videos that I posted before, like, because, oh my gosh, I don't know. Anyway, um, I laugh at myself because of, I am very just not, I don't know, anytime, especially a certain friends that I have, right? Because I have friends all over the place, like all over the world, and all over, like, from different, backgrounds, cultures, all of that. And it's like certain friends, when I see what they're following and who they're following and what they're like, as far as like beliefs and movements and all that kind of stuff, I'm always like, and sometimes I don't even have to know what it is initially sometimes, because I'm like, your thinking is a little different. So I know I probably don't, agree with this, but anyway, especially with regards to I don't know, like political stuff, I guess. But it's just interesting. So many different things have happened. My goodness. At the time that I'm recording this, you won't see this probably to the end of July, but I'm sure, yeah, as you're watching this, it's probably close to the end of July. But as I'm doing this, it is the 6th of July. And my baby girl just had her 17th birthday. And she was so cute. My nay. And so we celebrated. I said, okay, so I said, now you black, and we not supposed to be celebrating July 4th. We're not supposed to be celebrating your birthday this year. And I said, or actually, I think we could celebrate your birthday, but we're not supposed to be celebrating Independence Day. And she's like, whatever, like, I'm gonna celebrate whatever I want to celebrate. I'm free, and I was like, yeah. So we laughed and talked about that, and I started out the day, I was looking at some posts. I don't know. I'm working on my Facebook news feed. I have some groups on there that are absolutely invaluable to me, right? So I won't leave. And then honestly, I have some friends that are really, like, I'm not on board with like their beliefs or whatever, but I love them and I want to keep in touch. So, but I have been unfollowing a lot of people because it gets to be too much after a while. And I am just, I don't know, I don't want to do it no more. It's too much. So I was looking at some stuff on Facebook, and some of the stuff people was posting, I was just like I was like, oh my God, my boo-boos are crazy. They are so crazy. Like, like different ones saying different things, like different ones, they intentionally, like, try to like bait people and like all kinds of stuff. I'm like, who do you think you are? Oh yeah. Like, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you accomplishing here? And then it was just, I don't know, I was seeing a lot of crazy stuff, and I was like, you know what, I gotta get off of here. And then, but before I got off, I saw a friend of mine. He had a picture of himself with a shirt on that said "Just Don't Care," and I was like, that's cute. And I said to him, I was like, yes, cute shirt you got there, buddy. And we ended up chatting back and forth privately, because I didn't realize, like, it was a story, the things that go away after a day, I guess, on Facebook. And so it was one of those. And so when I messaged him in reply to that, I was like, yeah, I like the shirt or whatever. And we ended up going back and forth privately. And then we ended up on the phone for probably an hour or more, and just chatting. And it was such a wonderful conversation he and I had. And then I went on to have a really good day. I talked to my dad, my father-in-law. I got like several dads. So my father-in-law was here, and we got to talk, and he really helped me. I'm getting the idea down that you hear all the time. Don't let nobody, steal your peace. I'm like, I hear songs in my head, and because I'm hearing a song, don't you let nobody turn you around, turn you around, turn you around, don't you let nobody. It's a like Negro spiritual choral thing that we used to sing in school. But anyway, so he was like, don't let nobody like take your peace and all. And because I was telling him about the situation where I went to Walgreens to get my passport photo done over again because the first person did it wrong. And then this lady, we ain't doing that right now because it's the pandemic and all, because you would have to take off your mask and all that. And I was just like, like, I was like, well, first of all, Kevin did it last week. He did it wrong. I need it done again. Like, like, I don't care. I literally don't care. I'm not going to come kiss you in the mouth. You don't have to touch me, in order to do this or whatever. Then she just had a big attitude. She did the picture and made it look all funny. Don't I look pretty? I'm a pretty girl. I am photogenic. Okay? I'm photogenic as freak. She took an ugly picture of me, y'all. The picture, I don't look pretty. I do not look pretty. But anyway, and I paid for it. So my dad was like, listen, next time you go into a store and you have that kind of situation, he was like, just leave. And I was like, where were you? Where were you last week? Like, and I was like, I could have went to another place. I could have went somewhere else and got it done. And perhaps the people would have been nicer and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I was like, so I'm taking this to heart though, because I'm like, so many different times I want to be like my friends that like just like rail off like loud and proud and wrong, and just like wrong and wrong. I want to do that too, but I don't know, like it's like God is just like, no, that's not you. And I'm like, I want it to be me sometimes, but no, I don't, because it looks stupid, honestly. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's a bad look, a horrible look. In fact, it looks so like infantile, so like, because there's no logic. Like, there's literally no logic. And here's the thing, I am so like your dreamer, your head in the clouds, la la land, all that. But when your like beliefs and all aren't even congruent, like when one thing don't match the next thing, and the puzzle pieces are all like, you got this puzzle piece and then another puzzle piece, but it's to a whole nother game. What? Like, I can't. No, it's yeah. So, and that's what I'm seeing over and over and over again. And so my husband has been saying since he got out of the hospital last year. In fact, when he came to in the hospital, when they said he got a cold, and he was in the ICU for a week, or in the hospital for a week. He was in the ICU for several days of that week. And they had him paralyzed and heavily sedated. He was completely out. When he came to, he looked at me and he said, I want another baby. And I said, you're on drugs, honey, and we'll talk later. And so, because I really didn't want to, I don't know, I feel done, as far as having babies. And so, and frankly, I've always wanted to have a lot of babies. I only have 5, and I do mean only, because I don't feel like that's a lot at all. I used to tell my mother I wanted 10, and she'd be like, go right ahead. But anyway, I ended up pregnant, And I don't test. I don't take tests when I get pregnant. I just know. I can feel it. I don't know how to even describe it. I can feel that somebody is in my body with me. I can feel it like so strongly. So I had a friend call me who is pregnant, and she was considering abortion, and she was really fighting and struggling with it because she's not for abortion, but the situation was such that she was like considering it. And so I'm supporting her through that. And I've done this before. I'm not for abortion in no way, shape, or form at all, but I have supported several friends through that process and after and everything. So because why not? Like, people need love. So and I don't have to agree with them, like, like to support and love them, whatever. So anyway, so I'm like helping her, and I was just like, and it came out of my mouth, I was like, shoot, I could be pregnant myself, actually. And and then one day I woke up and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm seriously pregnant. Like, I didn't want to do this again. And I started getting scared because I am very short. I'm only 4'10" and I'm afraid of too much weight. I'm actually because of my weight and my height, I am actually considered obese. And I don't like that. Like, I don't like that, so I wanna I've been doing a lot of stuff, and my thing is I need to eat more. That's my problem. So anyway, I've been really working hard on eating more and all the things, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to, get like, I don't know, diabetes or something, or I don't want to do all that. And so I was just kind of freaking out. So it took me 2 days to really just like be okay with being pregnant. And then I started to look forward, like, okay, all right, it's okay. And then I told my husband that I was pregnant, and I said to him, do you need me to take a test? He said no. And I was like, okay. And so, and I told my friend, that I was pregnant too, and also we was, just being pregnant together or whatever. And on the 1st actually of July, I started bleeding, and I was just like, are you kidding me? We're gonna do this again? Like, this will be like my 8th miscarriage. And then I had to do the whole coming to terms thing all over again, and it was hard. And then I had, like, people oftentimes will say things to you that are very insensitive and sometimes even mean. They don't mean it. And I hate how I felt like I was in this position of like, I'm already hurting. So here's what was said to me. My husband said at some point, he said, do you think maybe you just got your period really, really late, and it's just on now? And I was like, no. Like, that's all I said, and meanwhile, like, I'm like, I literally bled for 2 days. It took my body 2 days to get rid of everything, all the fetal tissue, the clots, like all the stuff that he's not seeing. He don't know nothing about all that. And I'm, dealing with all that. And it's interesting. Like, it's fascinating. I'm very fascinated with the body and how everything works. And I'm like, yay, I have a wonderful body that works so well and all. But at the same time, this is really jacked up, like, and like, my body, like, quickly expelled all the fetal tissue, the clots, everything. And then just like that, it's done. Like, and it's just interesting, and so for him to say that, I was just like, I asked you if you wanted me to take a test. I understand you don't live in here. I live in here. And so, if you need to see a test, whatever. But so that like stung a little bit. And then my friend, she said, well, you got what you wanted. And I was like, what do you mean? And I didn't say that because I didn't know what she meant, but I needed her to hear what she was saying, because sometimes people don't know that, like, they're like, being a jerk, whatever. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, you didn't want to get pregnant, in the first place, and and now you're not. And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to get pregnant to begin with, but once I felt the presence of my child, I wanted my child, and I still want my child. And it's just like, and so I'm dealing with all that, and then it's like I'm dealing with the loss, and then when I have people say these insensitive things to me, it's like I have to shift gears, come out of what I'm feeling and ignore like what I'm feeling, and then extend grace to them, because they know not what they do, or what they say in this instance. And and it's just so like jacked up how that works. But anyway, so then something interesting happened on Facebook again, and a white friend, I think a white friend, she wrote a post. Yes, she wrote a post saying something about like, this is your friendly reminder that there's no such thing as reverse racism. Racism only goes one way. It doesn't go both ways. And I usually just bypass stuff like that I don't agree with. Stuff that I don't agree with, period, I just bypass, because what are we doing here? But because I was hurting and not wanting to deal with the loss that I was experiencing, I went on in there, and I wasn't mean or nothing. I just said to her, I said, can I offer a different perspective? And she was like, yeah, like, and also I was like, I know many black racists. I grew up around some, and like, and with some, and I know black racists, and I've witnessed things that were very racist, and the black people were the perpetrators and of these acts. And so of course another black woman, she thought she was gonna school me, and and so anyway, after that whole conversation, because I'm dealing with the loss of this baby, and then now I'm riled up with this too, I didn't go to sleep until like 4 a.m. and I was like, why did I do that? Like, I know, like, it's easier to be angry and deal with that emotion than it is sometimes to deal with like grieving and loss and all that kind of stuff, because it's like you have more of a sense of control. And so I've recognized that and all, but I was just thinking of like going back to what my dad said. You don't put yourself in a position where you're like, the peace that you have is like going to be just snatched away. Like, I have to deal with the loss of my child. I did not have to deal with that racist black, or whether blacks can be racist or not thing. I didn't have to deal with that. And so, and then here's the thing too. I went on there, I was very respectful, as was the other woman who decided that she was going to teach me something too. She, cause see, my face looks young. Anyway, so she didn't change her mind, and neither did I. So what are we doing? What are you doing on Facebook when you go into these rants about anything? Like, who cares? Nobody literally cares. And so it's just, I don't know. I'm like, I learned a lesson with that, and it wasn't as, it could have been a whole lot worse and all, but I'm learning so much through all this. But I don't know, so many different things. But I'm seeing that some people are actually waking up. My woke friends are waking up. Because it's always the ones that talk about being woke that I swear they sleep. Like, seriously. So, because something, apparently 6 little black children died over the weekend, all like around the country. And I'm seeing a few people posting about it, and they're saying, where's Black Lives Matter now? Did these Black lives not matter? And I was like, there you go. That's like I'm like, I'm glad you seeing this, you know. And then I have friends like, because it, and then another friend even said, she said, Black lives only seem to matter when it's a white person or a white cop that takes that Black life. That's when the Black lives matter. And I was like, bingo, like seriously. And I was like, I can get with the statement, but the movement, nah, no, you know. Is so anyway. Something else. What else was there? I don't know. I'm just seeing like so many different things, and then I'm learning a lot from different people now that I didn't know existed. There's a documentary called Uncle Tom. Go to uncletom.com, and it is the Black conservative view. And watching that, I've already been a Black conservative for since maybe 2000. Yeah, maybe 2000, year 2000 or so. And I've been anyway, because I'm like, it's 20 years. So anyway, so I've been a Black conservative, but I watched this documentary, and I heard names of Black leaders, like brilliant leaders, that I have never heard of in my life. And it just made me tear up, because I was like, are you kidding me? I grew up like in like Black schools where they took pride in, you know, learning about different figures in Black history and all this. And I searched out things on my own and all, and I'm like, why am I just hearing these people's names now? Thomas Sowell, Shelby Steele, Jason Riley is he's younger, but Larry Elder, Walter E. Williams. Why am I just hearing about these people? All that pissed me off. After I'm looking at lecture after lecture, reading books, watching videos. Like seriously, I'm like binging on all their stuff. It's absolutely brilliant and completely logical, and they destroy all of this, like the crap that I have known for 20 years now, that is just crap. It's just liberal crap. And I'm just so like, wow. And I know the other point I was gonna make. This video is long, but the other point that I was gonna make too, I was like, I smiled when I saw a picture of, apparently there was people in Georgia who, because if you're Black, you were supposed to wear black on July 4th and not celebrate Independence Day. And so there were Black people that went to Stone Mountain in Georgia, and they marched, I guess, in all black, and they had their guns and everything, and they, you know, it was like a peaceful, I guess, protest and stuff. And so I was like, all right, y'all, you know, like, because I think I'm a libertarian at heart. Do what you need to do, hun. Like, you know, so as long as you ain't hurting nobody else, you know. So as I was looking at their faces in the picture, though, I said, so look, another song on, what is that? I don't know what it was. She says, it's like a Disney movie. She says, I wonder why each little bird has a sweet little someone to sing to, sweet things to. And anyway, so I was like, I wonder if these Black people with these guns are voting for people that want to take their guns away. I wonder about that. I wonder, you know, like seriously. Because, and then I have Black friends now who are, I was saying it to my children the other day. I said, you know, I have some Black friends who are talking openly about either having or about to like try to get licensed to buy guns, firearms and everything. And I was like, I was like, because the first thing that they need to do is stop voting for these people that want to take that right away. And I wonder if they're connecting any dots there, because so and interestingly enough, one of my favorite YouTubers that talks about guns, Colion Noir, black guy, he did a video, very short video, that said the first thing you need to stop doing when you buy guns, when you buy your first gun, and it was stop voting for people who try to take away your rights, dummy. So it's just interesting. So many things. And then it's not funny. It's not funny at all, actually. But it's like, because I remember just a few months ago, people like, why do you have to have a gun? What do you need a gun for? And now they like, defund the police. No more police. And then if somebody come and break into your place, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters? What you gonna do? Because you want to defund the police, and so they might be kind of mad. I don't know. I mean, I talked to some police on July 4th when my neighbors was doing fireworks and we was all enjoying them, and the police was enjoying them right along with us. So they was friendly, whatever. But what if the police don't want to come? 9 times out of 10, like Colion Noir said, 9 times out of 10, by the time the police get there, the crime has already been committed. What you gonna do, boo? Seriously, you gonna defund the police. You ain't got no gun to protect your family. The criminals got guns. They got plenty of guns. I know some of them. Seriously. Well, I know some former criminals out. They went to jail, they did their time, they didn't do it right because they got caught. But so because some of them, I'm like, dude, you're not good at this, the criminal life. You need to look somewhere else, do something different, because the criminal life ain't working out for you. You keep getting caught and going to jail. It's not working. Try something else. But anyway, I don't know. It's so many different things, that inconsistencies, just the whole, they can't even string two thoughts together that make sense. It's just insane. So I have talked aplenty, and yeah, a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go. And I don't know. I'm really grateful for how I'm processing this loss, and because I'm happy. But then I had a class that I did, and she had us doing breathing, where you just you breathe, you inhale for 3 counts, exhale for 6. And maybe the second time we did it, I just burst out crying, and I was just like, wow, but I think it's because in that moment I gave myself that time and space to just grieve, and then again today when I was working out, I just burst out crying as I was working out, and it was like, oh, all right, okay. So interesting stuff. But I will end the video now, and I thank you for watching, and I hope all is well with you and yours, and that's it. Bye. See you next time.